Welcome to Balanced Health. I'm Shirley Rose, and this is Joe Costello. And today we're asking, do each of us have the secret to a healthier life but just don't know it? The answer is yes, and it's called metabolic typing. There is no universally healthy diet that is right for all people. Metabolic typing is individualized nutrition. And joining us later in the show is Amy Andrews, a holistic life coach, to go over how the correct ratios of proteins, carbohydrates, and fat can optimize your vitality, fight disease, and help you achieve your optimal weight. But first, Joe has some news for us.
Oh, we do, Shirley. Today's dose of nutrition in the news deals with diabetics and needles. Recently, researchers from the University of Irvine in California discovered that there may be a less barbaric way to test blood sugar levels of diabetics. In fact, if their findings pan out, it may eliminate the need for diabetics to face numerous daily blood tests and needles altogether. And Shirley, that would be
so
very
amazing.
welcome.
Because actually, what you're going to be telling us about is primarily for type 1 diabetics, which is like what my little granddaughter Macy is. It's child onset diabetes. And my heart just goes out to her. It's even the insulin shots aren't really that painful, but this constant needle sticking all day is just got to be just a drag.
It is. I think emotionally it really weighs on people all day long. Like you said, they know they're going to get through it, but if you've done it, and I've checked my blood sugar, you know, for just statistics purposes for myself, and the little prick in the finger, it's not like it's a excruciating thing, but I could tell you this, I dreaded it every day.
And you know what, when you have to do it, 10 times a day? I mean, Macy said her little fingertips literally get sore and they have to keep changing. It's terrible.
Well, you mentioned, Shirley, that so far this, it was actually only done with a small study, and most of the people from the study that benefited from it, or it seemed to be consistent, were from type 1 diabetes. And what they found, Shirley, is this. People with diabetes have higher amounts of chemicals, methyl nitrates, in their system, and their blood sugar levels are elevated. So here we have this common finding between these two things. So the study suggested this link, and it was only conducted on a small group of people. Those subjects that suffered from type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, also known as adult onset diabetes, were found that in the type 1 diabetes, this level of this methyl nitrate was consistent for anybody that had type 1 diabetes. The level of methyl nitrate in their breath was much higher than the average public. So that's called deductive reasoning, and it doesn't necessarily mean that anybody who has a high level of this methyl nitrate found in their breath, it's really the moisture from their breath is what they're finding it, and really it's your saliva, really, that you have diabetes. But when they see these commonalities, you know, it's like the PSA thing with prostate, which we've talked about before on shows. A high PSA doesn't mean that you have prostate cancer, but it's indicative that you need to go further. So their hope is that at some point in time, this breathalyzer for blood sugar, if
or
you
even
will,
a saliva
is going
test
to turn out to be. Well, there's other. I've seen some advertised for it, and perhaps you have as well, for some needleless testing of blood sugar, not necessarily the injection of insulin. And so we were talking before the show, and I concur with what you're saying, is that with this adult stem cell research, and I would like to personally emphasize adult stem cell research.
Or cord blood research.
Or cord blood research. Cord blood research. I believe that they're going to find the answer to diabetes, whether it's replacing the pancreas with a mechanical scenario or whether it's regulating blood sugar through a different means other than direct insulin. I believe we're going to get the answer for this. I believe diabetes is going to be, I'm not talking about 2 years from now, but I believe that in the future diabetes is going to be something that, of course, adult onset diabetes we can dramatically reduce.
Already we can help
with
that.
lifestyle.
But the children, I mean, that's not something that they can change by the way they eat or anything. My little granddaughter was the healthiest eater in her whole family, really, and she got this diabetes. It's very, very sad. But they have made great strides in stem cell research, and interestingly enough, the adults and the cord blood research they haven't had any results really with embryonic. But we believe, and we're praying that within 10 years or so that Macy can be cured.
Well, one of the things we do on the show, Shirley, is give people a call to action.
Right.
You know, and a call to action here for this topic would be it's so easy to do it. You can Google diabetes and get all the information that you want on it. But the call to action here is to educate yourself on adult stem cell and show that we have proven results with that. We do not have proven results with embryonic stem cell research, and though this is the show is to talk about that topic.
But you are an activist, and so am I. I'm a pro-life activist too.
But as a health activist, If we find that we're getting results in adult stem cell, and it might mean that our children and our grandchildren will benefit from it, that's what we want to push. Those are the politicians that we want to put in office. That's what we want to educate ourselves in. That's what we want the public to become aware of, is that the results are coming from adult stem cell. And this whole thing about a breathalyzer replacing needles, I think the answers and ultimately going to lie with what we're finding with adult stem cell.
And I think that's very encouraging. I think that's wonderful. I certainly hope they find that soon.
Good for your granddaughter.
Yes, for little Maisie, I do too. Well, for more information on today's Nutrition in the News, check out tln.com and click on shows and then go to Balanced Health. Or to get a copy of today's show, call 888-242-9393. And after the break, can genetics cause obesity? Find out the truth right after this. We'll be back.